Hey everybody, this is Eric from GameShampoo.com, and today I'm going to be giving you an overview of Mass Effect 3's online content. So that includes the multiplayer and the DLC that's come out so far as well, which is really only a couple things so far. So first of all, there's the multiplayer. This is basically a means of getting your galactic readiness up in case you screwed up a bunch of side missions or you don't have the necessary war assets or something like that. So you can play co-op with 3 other people and go through these missions online to raise your galactic readiness that way. Or, I mean, you can just do it to have some fun too, but it basically serves to make you more prepared for the final mission of the single player game. So multiplayer is functionally a lot like the single player. Like I said, it's 4 people on a team. You're cooperating, and you're gonna be fighting to survive against the different waves of enemies for 11 different waves on every map. And after the 11th wave, there's kind of like an extraction moment, and you have to survive for 2 more minutes while the ship arrives, and then you get out of there. So you'll find that a lot of the customization options are pretty similar. You're not going to have the ability to customize your face or your appearance really or anything like that because you're just going to be wearing a helmet the whole time, so it doesn't matter. But other than that, I mean, you can customize your primary and secondary colors on your armor. You can add patterns and shining lights and stuff like that on your armor, but you have to level up to get some of that stuff. The main meat of the customization is in the different classes, which are all the same as they were in the single player. So you've got your soldier, sentinel, vanguard, adept, engineer, and infiltrator. But the catch is that each of those classes is only accessible by certain races, with the exception of the humans, who are awesome and can do all of the above. So you've got the humans as your primary race, but then you've got Turians, Asari, Quarians, Solarians, and Krogan, and Drell as well. And you'll have to unlock some of those. They're not all available right away, so you're gonna probably end up starting out as a human, either male or female, just like the single player. And it's worth noting that all the other races are, only one gender. You can't choose between like a male and a female Krogan or something like that. But each race has its own abilities as well. So humans are kind of the white bread average ones, while Krogans are really tough, hard to bring down. Solarians and Quarians are pretty easy to kill, but they're great with tech. Asari make great adepts. They're really good with biotic powers, stuff like that. And like I said before, each race can only be certain classes other than the humans. So you'll find Asari can only be vanguards or adepts, and Quarians can be infiltrators or engineers and stuff like that. So, kind of classes that play to the strengths of each race. And once you choose your class and your race, you'll get into this level up kind of menu that's really similar to the single player's level up menu again. You'll have several abilities on one side, and then you can level each of those abilities up. There's a little skill tree, branching paths on each of the powers after you get through level 4. Pretty standard stuff if you've played the single player, but still enough to really kind of hone your class to what you want it to be. So let's say if you want to be a Quarian engineer, you can really focus on making turrets, and that'll kind of offset the physical weakness of that class because you'll have a turret there to distract enemies for you, so you don't really need to worry about taking them out by yourself. And you can set up multiple loadouts, so you can have your human vanguard, and then you can have like a Solarian infiltrator or something like that. You can have a bunch of different races and classes available at your fingertips for any situation really, which is good because a lot of the enemy types require pretty specialized focus. So there's going to be 3 types of enemies: the Geth, Cerberus, and the Reapers, and each one kind of has its own strengths, weaknesses, tactics they use. Cerberus is basically your standard human enemy. They take cover, they fire at you. They have phantoms and nemesis snipers who will kind of break that mold a little bit, and they have Atlas mechs for their heavy units, but otherwise they're basically going to hide behind cover and wait until they have a chance to shoot you. But they're primarily an armor-focused force of enemies, so if you have stuff like Warp that can weaken armor, bring that along. You're going to want to bring like Adepts, stuff like that, to kind of weaken them before you go in for the final blow, stuff like that. The Geth are synthetic enemies, so you're going to want engineers, you're going to want Quarians especially to deal with them. You can use sabotage or overload to destroy the Geth really easily. And then there are the Reapers, who are kind of like this savage force that just charge at you, especially the husks. And I feel like in that scenario it's really helpful to have a vanguard just at your side, so that way when all these things start charging up to you, Banshees teleport up to you for the instant melee kill, husks run at you, the brutes charge you. So when they get up close, you can just whip out a shotgun, do biotic charge or warp or something like that, or Nova, and just really mow them all down really quickly. So that's about it for the multiplayer, but there's a few packs of DLC that you can get as well. Some of them came with the game if you bought the collector's edition, the first being the From Ashes DLC, and that's the one that came with the collector's edition. It's $10 if you didn't buy that edition of the game, and basically it gives you a new squad mate who is a Prothean. You'll get 1 new mission, 1 new weapon, and you get 6 new outfits for you and your squad mates, and that's $10, 800 Microsoft points, and it's available now. You might already have it depending on which version of the game you got. Then there's the Online Pass, which you got if you bought the game new. That's nothing new to anybody who's been following EA. I think every one of their games except Syndicate has had an Online Pass recently. But in case you're not familiar with that, you only get this if you buy the game new, and it's a code that you have to enter that lets you play the game online. So if you buy it used, you get it secondhand, something like that, you might want to pick this up. It gives you access to the multiplayer mode that I just described. And it's it's pretty cool, but I don't know, not really worth $10 necessarily, unless you're really into wave-based survival stuff. And then there are 2 packs, kind of booster packs, I think they've been billing them as, that supplement the multiplayer stuff pretty well. There's a Spectre pack, which is $2 or 160 Microsoft points, and that's basically, it's like a booster pack if you play trading cards. It's just a random assortment of items. You can get new weapons, you can get equipment, you can get patterns and stuff to put on your armor. But the Spectre pack is the most expensive of all the packs, so statistically you're going to end up getting the best stuff in this pack if you buy that. And note that you can also buy that with in-game currency, but it's going to take you a really long time to save all that up. And then there's the Veteran pack, which is the same kind of deal, but it's only $1, 80 Microsoft points. It's another booster pack. It just has less chance of getting good stuff than the Spectre pack does. So that's an overview of Mass Effect 3's online functionality, the multiplayer, and the DLC. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos.